Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Andre from the Opinionated podcast, and I just want to remind you that we are live every Sunday on our Facebook page, and you can find us wherever you stream your music at the Opinionated podcast. So we drop a new episode every Tuesday. So remember to like, share, comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Enjoy the show. Hey guys, welcome to the Opinionated podcast, and we are your hosts.
I'm Cool Kev,
Kevin Durant,
and I'm Andre, and we want to have our guest introduce herself.
And I'm Dani Jones in Cornwall, England.
Oh wow, our special guest from England,
across the pond.
Across the pond.
That's what it's called.
An ocean away.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So, Dani, won't you tell us about just kind of, what do you do and how you got started doing that?
What do I do? Well, apart from writing books, I'm retired. I was born of Serbian parents who came to England after the First World War. Wow. And I was born in a big county called Yorkshire. So I don't actually talk like the people where I'm living now because I've got this accent.
I love it.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
I went to the grammar school and didn't do too bad, but my parents wanted me to go to university and I wouldn't go because I wanted to marry Trevor and have his babies, and that's what I did. But we got divorced when I was 40, and then I went on to have this chaotic life that some of it is in the books that I'm writing. I've always been a writer, and people started saying to me, when are you going to write the book of your life? And it was like, who's going to believe anything? Who wants to know about me? I'm not anybody. So I decided to use bits of my life and people I knew to write stories. So I'm not a novelist, I'm a storyteller. And I'm going to say I'm quite funny. I also do little improvised videos of Mrs. Jones on the telephone, but that's for another day.
All right. we definitely want to hear about that when we get time.
So if you're going to be a writer, I think you've got to devote your time to it. So it's very difficult because I ran a psychotherapy counselling practice, and I also taught people. Wow. I also taught in one of Britain's largest prisons, but that's another book. That's just gone off to the publishers. I'm not even going to go there with that one because we're not talking about that tonight. And so I got married 6 years ago and came down to Cornwall with my new husband. But I've been writing. The first book in this trilogy, Chasing Rainbows, was 2014. So I've been writing, 7 years properly.
Okay.
And then 2 years ago, I was accepted by a publisher, and the rest is history. So the second book is now out. The stories, the story runs through. It's a saga of a love between a man and a woman called Adam and Olivia, and it spans over 30 years, if not more.
Oh wow!
They are based. I got a songwriter involved called Philip Goodham Tate. I wanted his songs for the promo videos that I have, and he gave me the copyright to them. But he said if it goes to film, we'll have to discuss it because I got the copyright for free.
Nice.
Yeah. My dream is obviously to have a bestseller. The reviews are good. I don't know how people get the books on the shelves, and I don't know how people get bestsellers. It would make like people saying, it make a brilliant film, but it's about just hitting on that one person who's going to go, yeah, let's have a look at this.
Right.
That's what I'm needing. And so this sounds awful. I'm going to say I'm putting myself about, but not in that way.
Right.
You see,
put yourself out there.
In America, you speak American. It's not English, it's American, so things are different. And I spent 2 weeks in New Orleans once. It's the first time I ever went to America, and we could hardly understand each other, but we spoke the same words.
Right. It's a little bit of a twang down in New Orleans.
So I got a question to ask you. You said you're more of a storyteller than an author. Do you think it's easier being a storyteller to write, or do you still suffer what most authors suffer from, which is like the writer's block, and
Mm.
having them days where you might write 10 pages, but also having them days that you might only get a paragraph out.
Right, that's a good question. I do a lot of thinking. I can't sit with a blank piece of paper and a pen. I'm not that sort of an author. So before I even pick the pen up, the story's in my head. So like, I'll
Wow.
tell you the story, and if I tell someone else's story, I'll go, this could change at any time because it's up here. So and when I get writer's block, which is very rare, it's almost like there's another voice inside me, and I see the stories as film. I see, as I'm writing, it's like I'm watching television and writing it all down.
Wow.
And when it dries up, I just go gardening and knitting or drinking with my friends or whatever, and then eventually it comes back and I start again. That's how I do it.
That sounds like natural.
Yeah.
Like
Organic.
Yeah, that's to me, and I envy that, because it's a lot of times, like I used to a long time ago, I used to make music, and the one thing is you can get writer's block making music too. I didn't write any songs, but I made the actual music, and when you get it, it's hard, and I could go do a million things and then come back to sit down and it's still hard.
Yeah, me and him used to do music together, so I understand what he's saying. You'll be staring at the screen.
Yeah.
And it'll be the same loop playing. You like, man, I don't know what to add.
I suck today.
Yeah.
That's usually what I would say. Dog, I suck. I'm not meant to do this ever. And then you come back, maybe a couple of days later, and then come
It's
up with
just
one
there.
of your best things yet. So yeah.
Yeah. What sort of music are we talking about? I'm asking questions now.
That's okay. We did mostly hip hop,
Some R&B,
some R&B.
Yeah,
And and
we were just beat makers. We were just
producers.
Producers. Yeah, that was it. We was behind the scenes. We wasn't actually writing the lyrics, but that's the problem we had to do. We had to hear the lyrics of the artist in our head,
right,
and then try to put that into music form, sonically, for them to, hopefully it'll come out the way we want it.
right.
Yeah.
Which I can tell that's you kind of get to create the whole story. Like there's no one that you're waiting for to come and say, oh, you know what? No, let me write this character specifically. So that's why I said I envy that, because you can just kind of sit back and just let your imagination run.
Well, it's a bit like I'm a people watcher, and a lot of the people that are in the books are really real people.
Okay.
So you've got the one thing that I've learned as a writer, or if I'm telling new writers, is write what you know. This isn't like school where they say, write about the day you went to the market and you're making it all up. We've got so much in our heads and so much experience and information. You don't need to make it up. If you think about it, it's just there. What you've got to learn is am I getting too dark for you? Because I'll put the big light on.
No, you're great. No. Yeah.
All right, I found it. You can't see me grow out bits either when it's dark, so it's all right. I think you should write what you know. I suppose it's the same with music. You can't suddenly go off and do classical music or something if you're a hip hop person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we lose it? Oh, I thought we lost
you. You'll never lose me. I'm always here.
There you go. Yes. Okay.
So
I've lost you. Where have you gone?
Oh no, we just focused in on you. So
bless you. Thank you.
What would you say? Where would you say you draw most of your inspiration for writing your books and your characters, and where do you get all your ideas and be able to bring them to life in your head?
Well, I've got to be honest with you. Most of these books are true, but I've just changed them a lot. So, like people who know me very well, it was like when the first one went out, someone went, "Are you Olivia?" And I went, "Well, yeah, you could say I am Olivia, really." Okay. So the Adam in the book doesn't know I've written about him at all, and he never will.
Okay.
Oh,
look, if it becomes the bestseller, then.
Right, so there's one bit, right? So I'm talking about this one for the moment, Chasing Rainbows. Right, I'm going that way. So it's an aeroplane. It's about two two men sat next to each other on an aeroplane going to New York. They don't know each other. But one of them sees in the in-flight magazine that a picture of a woman who's written a book, who's won an award, and he remembers her. And he had an affair with her like 20 years before.
Ooh.
So it takes you back. But the thing is, they don't know this woman's on the plane. And she walks down the island. She sees the two men because she had a bit of a do with the other man, Felix, in Hamburg. And so, so I'm watching
me?
Little love triangle.
Oh my God, don't get hot under the collar. So it also happens to their relationship and the way they treat her, the way they were with her, and it actually ends on a cliffhanger at Kennedy Airport in New York. Now, the two reviews that came back, the two that stuck with me, one was, goodness me, it's like 50 Shades with class. And I said, I didn't write a sex book. I thought I wrote about relationships. Someone else got in touch and said, I couldn't stop laughing. I thought, but I didn't write a comedy book either. But I think what I learned then as a new author was the reviews you get and what people interpret from books tell you more about the reader than the writer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so she's gone to America to chase a film deal for the book. So we're on to the one that's just come out now that I'm actually promoting. And they are standalone, so you don't have to read the first one and the second because they tie in. So in America, she's in New York, obviously. She goes to, and I always get it wrong, is it Rain's Law Room? What's that bar?
Where?
Rain's Law Room in New York. It's like a speakeasy.
I'm not too familiar with that place. I really want to know now.
We're
want to know.
We're going to look it up.
Right.
Rain's Law Room. Yeah.
That's in the book. Now you'll know this other place she goes to, and it's a place I so want to go to. She goes to Myrtle Beach.
Oh, Myrtle Beach.
I've
been to Myrtle Beach.
I love that music. I'm a Northern Soul girl. You know, in the 60s and 70s, we've got Northern Soul in England, and I'm a Northern Soul girl, and I just want to go to Myrtle Beach. She also goes to Philadelphia, and she goes to Cape May.
Okay, New Jersey.
That's where we're right. We're right near there, kind of.
We're like
yeah.
Well, have you found it?
Yes, I have. It looks like an amazing spot. Like good drinks there.
Well, that's where she bumps into Adam again. She bumps into him in Cape May, but I can tell you a little bit if you want what happens in Myrtle Beach to her.
Oh, as long as you're not giving away the book, I would love to hear that.
I don't want to give too much away because
that's fine.
I want people to buy the book, obviously. But she goes down to Cape May to meet this film producer. Not Cape May. She goes down to Myrtle Beach to meet a film producer. She should have gone to Los Angeles, but she decides is making this film. And she gets picked up by this man that's going to look after her, Vinny. Vic. I can't remember his name now. Anyway, never mind. And it takes her out to the corn. And in the cornfields, they're making a film. Because she's to meet this Mal, who's the film producer who wants to make a film of a book. And the film that is doing at the moment is called Coming in the Corn. So Livy's thinking, as she's going through all the cornfields, it's probably a zombie film because they're rather popular, or it might be a sci-fi film. And she meets this man and he says, hey, you'll come to the beach party later because we're filming and maybe, it'd be nice to see down there. So she goes down to this beach party and she does what she normally does, gets very drunk and passes out. So when she wakes up, the band has gone, but she can see that they are filming at the other side of a bonfire. So she gets up and goes across and she stands behind this Mal, the producer, and the guy that drives her about. And she looks across and she sees something that shocks her. And she faints. And when she wakens up, she's sick all over the film producer's shoes. And he runs into the ocean shouting, oh, me Gucci's, because she's thrown up all over his Gucci's. When she's been driven back to the hotel, the driver said Did you not understand what I meant about coming in the corn?
Oh, come.
Work it out, boys. Come on.
Yeah, we got it.
So that's what you
I'm
thought.
like, wait a minute.
I thought about it. Now I get it now. Coming in the car.
And she thought that it was going to be like she thought it was going to be a zombie sci-fi film, but instead it was people on the beach doing things that they do on X Hamster.
Oh, not my favorite site.
Now, the whole book isn't like that, but that is a bit that
Right.
that when the editor edited the book, what she wrote in a letter to me was, I laughed out loud when I read that bit about the beach because you can actually see it. This
Exactly.
little man running into the sea shouting, "Oh, me goochies," and her throwing up everywhere, going, "What the hell? What's this? Where am I now?"
Somewhere she didn't know she wanted to be.
For real.
So there's a lot in there. And I even mention, I'll get it up again, in Oceans Away. You know in Cape May, that restaurant that's built on that sunken ship.
I think
Which one's that?
um
Yeah, do your Googles, man.
I know what you're talking about.
We live here, we don't know. Come on.
We don't go to Cape May though.
I do. I work there a lot.
We worked there a lot.
Oh,
I
wow.
rode past it.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you how I found out about Cape May. On Facebook, I was friends with a guy called William McRory he was a boxer of some kind that had some houses up there. In the book, he's called Walter. I asked him. I mean, people, I will say to them, are you all right if I've had to put spotlight on me because I'm feeling I can't see myself, never mind there.
Go ahead, you turn the light on if you want.
Is that all right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all right.
absolutely. Yeah. Whatever makes you comfortable.
So the third book. So the first book, Chasing Rainbows, was supposed to be A Day Without Love, which was a hit by Love Affair. But
Okay.
when I sent it off to the publishers, they kept the name Chasing Rainbow. The second one, Oceans Away, was Gene Pitney's favourite song.
Right.
I don't think it was his best song when he sang it, but Roger Daltrey of The Who sang it as well.
Oh, I know. You don't
And
know
so
who the Who
I
is.
know
who the Who is.
The song's playing. And then the last one is going to be Bringing On Back the Good Times. So it goes through the whole thing, and the whole love of Adam and Olivia. And I got a review today from someone about Oceans Away, and they said, well, it sounds as though they're going to get together, and I hope they will, but I'm going to have to wait. I can't wait for the next book.
There you go.
I'm not giving it away because Adam and Olivia have become real people. Felix bit the dust. Felix.
Oh, you're telling. Don't give it all
Giving
away.
out the details.
I'm not giving you any more.
Okay, that's it. Yeah,
Felix.
He's a goner.
Yeah, because they was on the plane together.
Man.
He was on the
No,
plane.
that was it. So what happened on the plane? Right. When they were on the plane together, what happened on the plane after she winked at them both and went and sat back on the plane? Felix looks at Adam and says, do you know her? And he says, no, I don't know her. And he said, I thought she was winking at you. And then Felix remembers what happened in Hamburg when he called her a whore and what happened with them in Hamburg. And he actually goes back to try and make it right. So it's quite it's a story.
I see why people can get this.
Felix.
Some people can have that emotion that it reminds them of 50 Shades of Grey because it seems like a very intricate love story.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But with good scenes in it, though.
Yeah.
Also, yeah.
I can see it. I'm on the plane right now. I don't know why. Maybe I just have a good imagination, but I'm on the plane right now, and I can see them two having that conversation.
When I got married, because I got married 6 years ago to my third husband,
Okay.
the wedding organizer was, I'll call him a happy man.
Understood.
Yeah, because I don't like that other word. He's a happy man, and for it present. Well, we're all happy anyway. So he's a happy man. So I gave him Chasing Rainbows for a present. I was handing out things, and then when I went up to see him again, we went up before we went on honeymoon, and he said, "Dani," he said, "I can't look at you the same anymore."
What?
I said, "Why not?" He said, Because every time I look at you, I think about the love tunnel. So
Excuse me?
Oh wow.
right, because I use different words. I think that's what makes the books great.
Yeah.
So if Jane Austen was to write sex, I'd be Jane Austen. So I use different words. It's not crude.
Right.
In fact,
Okay.
maybe that's why everybody laughs, because
It's a
But you
different way.
get-
Love tunnel.
Yeah, because that's what the laughter is for. Because it's like you think about you giggle at this stuff. But
I'm
you
sorry.
also visualize it.
The happy man threw me. I'm so sorry. Because when you because you said wedding planner, right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a very happy Irish man, and it was like, I don't like that other word. I don't like words that as human beings, or we like to label people, and we shouldn't label anybody anything. We're just human.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, but can I just say
Beautiful.
something? And I know it's the Opinionated podcast. I will. I'm going off the subject, but don't worry, I'll come back. I have
no
to
problem.
say that Putin is a megalomaniac, and what I don't understand, boys, is they have all these spy films, right? And they get somebody in who always kills the bad man. So why haven't they got somebody going in and just obliterating him before he obliterates Ukraine? It's terrible.
It is definitely terrible.
We haven't.
It is 100% terrible.
Yeah, we was watching something earlier on them, and it's hopefully this
Seems like a terrifying man.
Yeah, I mean they're petrified of him.
Yeah,
and we're going, and this is purely
It's close to World War III.
For YouTube, because YouTube is the one that we have. YouTube, this is our opinion.
we didn't say his name.
This is not facts or anything. This is our personal. I just got to put that out there. This is our personal opinions and how we feel about the situation.
Yeah,
YouTube
sorry.
ain't
I wouldn't have got into trouble, would I?
No, you're not gonna get us in trouble.
No,
As long as
that's
we
fine.
put that disclaimer out there that this is pure, because this is the Opinionated podcast.
And we are
People-
opinionated.
We are opinionated, and we love for people to have their opinion. We don't like to
We don't wanna
hold
you
anybody
back.
down and
Right.
say, "Oh, you can't say that." No,
No.
speak your mind.
Absolutely.
Speak your truth.
And I always put this. I'm always in trouble with them. I'm in trouble with Facebook,
They don't
YouTube.
They don't like
They
him.
don't like me because I speak my mind. I say how I feel.
He's already crossed the market.
Yeah, but Kevin, that's why you call the Opinionated podcast. You're allowed to have
An
an
opinion.
opinion.
Right,
You
absolutely.
can feel how you want to feel about the situation, because my opinion looking at it is like, what are you getting off with? You're basically
He's gonna get us in trouble.
I'm about to get us in trouble. Yes. I'm just gonna speak on this real quick about the whole war
Just real quick.
situation.
Just to end
Real quick.
Sure.
I don't like the war situation. These people, it's a peaceful country. They were being left, they're doing their own thing. You just want to come in there and be the bully and be the aggressor and try to take their country. And what I don't like about Ukraine's allies is you're not going to back them. You're so scared of this country, what they can possibly do to you, that you're not sending troops over there or sending help to back them. You're doing sanctions, which is pretty much saying,
Yeah, he's laughing at the sanctions.
oh yeah, take.
Well, do you think, I was just going to ask you, boys, do you think that sanctions work? I'm sorry, I'm just. Oh, God. Do you think that sanctions work?
Somebody got to clue me in on what a sanction actually
A
is.
sanction is basically is like, we're not going to send you goods. We're going to cut you off from supplies. We're going to put heavy taxes on you.
Oh,
when
I'm
you
definitely sending my wife a sanction. Okay.
But I'm saying it doesn't. That's what, when the clip we was watching earlier with him talking to his spies, like he was trying to avoid the sanctions. He was like, "What are you?" And Putin was like, "You're scared of being independent." That's why the guy was so scared. He was like,
Say his name.
"Okay, well,
Just VP.
yeah," because he'd probably send a hitman over here or something.
Oh
like
my
that.
God. Okay.
I'm joking.
Yep.
Jeez
All right.
Louise.
Let's get back on.
Oceans away.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Chasing rainbows.
Chase the rainbows.
Yeah, he need to go chase a rainbow.
Oh my gosh.
Or somebody give him a Snicker.
That's Skittles.
I'm just saying.
all right.
Hey, give him,
Why wait?
Get-
Chase the
stop.
rainbow.
Yeah,
Stop.
Go
So
get him a Snicker.
We want
You're angry when you're not when you're
to
hungry.
hear more about
Okay.
Dani's book.
Let's get back. I'm sorry. This is the one thing about a podcast. You can say it's a podcast. It's not a radio station. So
That's
we
true.
can go off script and do whatever we want. We're not time scheduled.
That's true. But we're not in favor of any of that stuff. And yeah,
Yeah, we
that's
just hope it all works out.
it's
for
pretty
the
sad.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chasing Rainbows.
Chasing Rainbows.
Right.
Back to the book.
I'll read you what it says on the back. It says, sometimes memories can bring promises of what might have been, or can reawaken demons best left sleeping. Adam and Felix didn't know each other, but a chance meeting on a plane takes them to days gone by, which were filled with love, laughter, sex, and tears. It appeared that they had more in common than they could imagine. When Olivia winked at her past, she set a process in motion, and they all remembered when they were always chasing rainbows. Life can be so sad. We do get ourselves into messes, don't we? That's that one.
Absolutely.
Right, the next one. So this is what's on the back of this one.
Ocean's Way.
Throughout her life, Olivia's had her fair share of knocks and heartbreak, but as she heads to America to promote her new book and negotiate a film deal, she's riding on the crest of a wave of success. However, a chance encounter on the plane with an old flame Adam has Olivia questioning her life choices. As she traverses the high life of New York and tests the water of the movie world, the universe conspires to bring Olivia and Adam together. Can Adam atone for his past demeanours? Can Olivia trust him again? Is it too late to find happiness and love?
They're getting back together.
It sounds like my love. It sounds like my story.
They're getting back together. Yeah, I already know.
Don't
ruin
the book.
Bringing in the what was the new one?
Well, at this moment, boys, I'm actually marketing
Bring
every
back the good
bookshop
times.
in America.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm trying. And I'm sending them the video, I'm sending them emails, I'm doing the Facebook pages with the video, but Facebook only allow you to post so many things a day before they cut you off.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay. We've been through that.
Yeah, we lost the page doing that.
So that's when I finish and I go do something else then, a bit of writing or whatever I'm doing.
Okay.
I think, like I've said, you can buy this book anywhere. You can buy it off Amazon around the world. You can buy it from the publishers. You can order it from the library. You can buy it anywhere, but it's not on the bookshelves. And I don't know how anyone gets a bestseller.
I have a question for you, because I'm I go to Barnes and Noble. I don't know if you guys have Barnes and Noble where you're at.
No, but you can get Chasing Rainbows at Barnes and Noble.
Boom, there you go. That's one of my favorite bookstores. It's like a carnival when you go in there with the games and stuff. Anyway, either way. So, but I find myself maybe looking in Barnes and Noble, and then ordering the book. Like it might be a couple months later, but ordering the book from Amazon. So when it comes to like selling books, and I think, me personally, I don't know if I'm obviously not an author. I think if you can promote the book and still sell it on Amazon, I honestly think you can get a bestseller that way. Or does it not work like that?
No, it doesn't, seemingly,
Okay.
because I always look at the Times bestseller and I still think that my market's America. I still feel I need to get going out there with this. Seemingly, to have a Times bestseller, you've got to sell 5,000 books in 1 week.
Ooh,
wow.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I think I might have sold 100 books in 2 years.
No, listen.
But that's the beauty of a book.
Well, maybe you have to die before you become famous, like Charles Dickens did. I don't know. I think that really, because it's there on the platform and my publisher puts it out there and they do their bit, I don't have to sell the book. I have to get other people to know that the book is there to buy.
Right.
Promote.
Okay.
That's what this is for. Doing podcasts, different podcasts and everything like that, and having clips and sharing it with people. Then you get people a look into what you're doing behind the scenes, a look into the book, and they can, because that's people is more visual nowadays, and they see what's going on, like, oh, let me check this book out.
Right.
Yeah. So this is a good thing.
But what you have to remember, Kevin, the problem is that I am just one book of thousands that are coming out every week.
That's
and
true.
Also, we've got this new indie thing. So we've got people self-publishing, which I have done, but now I've got a proper publisher in Pegasus. Self-publishing is all well and good.
Right.
And it's like people around the world. I mentor people in Africa and Asia that are writing books and don't know how to go on about it because they think it's an easy way to make money. And I would say to people, don't expect to make millions because you'll be lucky if you get the money back that you put out to do the book.
Right.
You're not
Right.
going to make money at it unless you're very lucky. And it's that one guy, that one film producer, that, because I'll tell you who would make a wonderful Adam. Oh,
Give it to us.
put things on his pages. Is it Milo Ventimiglia? You go.
All right, let me get my Google machine out.
He did a brilliant series, and I watched it. I can't remember what it was on telly. It was about a family in the 70s, and he played the dad in it. Oh, I can't remember what it was called.
What's that name?
Milo Ventimiglia. Ventimiglia.
Oh,
Ventimiglia.
because I probably know who he is. That's the guy from This Is Us.
That's it. That's the program. Oh God, wasn't that fantastic?
Oh, he was in Heroes.
All right, look.
He was in Heroes. Milo,
that's a handsome guy. I can't lie. Yeah. Handsome dude.
He was like the Superman version in Heroes.
Do you know him? Have you got his address? I'm saying it's
have you got his address?
Because I'll tell you who else I know, and he's just, and I actually know him. The guy who played Highlander, Adrian Paul.
Let me look that up.
Highlander was
I was looking at I thought Lorenzo Lamas ain't play Highlander, right? where did he Renegade? He played Renegade.
Now I can imagine that guy from Heroes being on the airplane actually.
Yeah.
Oh, he just looks like Adam. He just looks like the young Adam, and he ages well. So, but
Henry Cavill.
Oh,
Henry Cavill?
No.
It's Adrian Paul. Let me see. Is it Highlander or Outlander? Wait a minute.
This might be Outlander. This is Highlander. Well, going. You were saying selling one copy or selling a million. Listen, I tell everybody that get on here because a lot of people is in the same boat. I tell them all the time. Our podcast, how long did it take us to get 100 plays?
It took us quite a bit.
It took us
quite a bit.
It took us a year and a half to get 100 plays, and we was so ecstatic. I'm like, man, we got 100. We finally got 100 plays, but we just kept grinding and grinding, putting our face out there, doing different things, switching everything up. Now we can drop an episode from the episode to get 300-400 plays.
Created goals.
First day.
Just happy about
on the first day. Yeah, the first day it drops, boom, 300 plays right then and there, easily. And then people go check our back catalog, and it'll keep going on and on. It's just that you got to be, as long as you're consistent at it and you're bringing good material, people will come to it, and do what you're doing right now. Reach out to different podcasters and radio show hosts, because we like to speak to y'all. We're not charging y'all anything. It makes good content. It makes stuff for people who are in similar situations like you try to achieve their goal also. That's what we try to do. We try to bring information to everybody, and we're all over. We everywhere from America all the way to Australia, Asia, India.
He gonna start naming states.
Yeah, Bogota.
Name
Bogota, India.
States. Let me Bogota.
Yeah, Bogota. Yeah,
Bogota.
Yeah,
Colombia.
What's it called?
Yeah. I got a question. Now, we went over who you would like to play certain parts, and I asked this question before, but I do think it's a really good question. If you can get anyone to direct your book to a film, who would it be?
Well, I know who immediately would come to mind, but it would, and so if you can't get Spielberg because he's good,
Spielberg.
But you cannot. What's his name? Cameron.
Whoever you can. Yeah, if that's who you love.
Name? Who did
Who's
Titanic?
That? Oh, James Cameron. Oh my God, he's a great director.
If I could get, and the thing is, for me, it's about if I could just get someone on the phone, or not on the phone, because it's better like this, because I can talk. I could sell oil to the Arabs.
I can see that.
But thank you. But I need to find the Arabs first.
Okay.
I think I would think, because Spielberg has just done West Side Story.
Oh, okay.
Or
Yeah,
I'll tell
that's
you
coming out soon.
who. I read, although, yeah, it'd be Milo Ventimiglia to play Adam, and it could be Ryan Gosling to play
Ooh.
Felix.
All right, see, now you're
Okay.
talking.
Yeah.
See, now yeah.
There
All
you
right.
go.
And I mean, the thing about the stories, you can adapt them to any country. They don't, they don't have to be like the book.
Right, yeah, of course.
They can be on a plane, whatever.
Yeah.
I just need someone either to be listening to your podcast, who is between jobs, who thinks, oh, I'm looking for another project and I've got $1 million left. Me,
I got
Dani
$1 million
Jones in
left.
England. You'll get on the first plane to America and just do it, because the other thing is, people will read it, but then I've got to push them for reviews because they just people don't review.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
They
honest, I don't. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
I'll read a book and it could be, I forget which one I read. It was something about, it had meditation in it. It really got me interested in meditating. And it was probably one of the best books I've ever read. And I got it from Amazon, I believe. And I didn't believe it. This guy, obviously, he was one of the, dudes who sell a whole bunch of books. He's just one of those guys. But I didn't even think to leave a review. I don't know why.
I don't think people do. And I did get one bad review and I got a bit upset. And then suddenly I thought, unless reviews get you to buy the books, which I'm not sure they do, do I care if someone likes it or not? Just buy it.
Yeah.
Right.
Once they buy,
I'd like to get my money back that I've put into it, so just buy it. It's not my fault if you don't like it, because if it's one person out of 50,
Right.
you can't please all the people all of the time, can you?
no. And guess what? He bought the
He
book.
bought the book.
He bought the book.
Clearly something
Not
made
the
him want to
book,
buy
so
it.
do I care? It could
Yeah.
burn the book. Yeah, just buy the book. Yeah, I need I'll give it 5 years before I decide to do something else. I think going back to people writing books and flooding the market, this new indie thing, this self-publishing, can take a lot of money, and there are a lot of charlatans out there. I can design your book cover. I'll be the editor. And
Yeah,
they're
we heard this
taking
before.
money under false pretenses. Now, the one thing I found with being self-published, it was just for sale on Amazon, and I didn't know which way to go. If you've got a publisher behind you, you can open more doors with a publisher.
Oh, yeah.
You still have to do your own, you still have to
Absolutely.
market. So you
Right.
can't sit back thinking the publisher will do it, because again, you have to think, to me, it's 2 books so far. To them, it's 2 of maybe 500 books that they've
Right.
got to see to.
Absolutely.
And I think people think, well, I've written a book, that was the hardest. No, the hard work starts after the book. And what I decided to do was invest in myself. So the books are the brand. I'm the brand. That's why I've got these little videos
okay.
and things. And so, because you're not going to talk to the book, you're going to talk to me.
Right.
And if you like talking to me, you'll have me back to talk about something else. So it's me, the personality, not actually the books, but they open the doors.
Yeah.
I've got so much I can give, there's so much I can do. I've done little films and I've done this and I've done that. I've done some very bad things in my life. I've done some very good things, haven't we all?
That's right.
Yeah. Everybody.
And I just think I've got so much to say. It's almost, I feel it's the road to somewhere else. I could never be your president, though.
No?
No.
Anybody can be our president after the last one.
Well, no. I won't want to get in. I won't want to get into politics.
That's all I'm going to say. Anybody can be our president after the last one.
Now let me ask you. I know a lot of people's books become almost like children. Would you ever say that, the more books you write, the more chances you have of hitting on maybe 1 or 2, and then the things start really happening that you know what I mean? Like, we got the trilogy here, but maybe 2 more. I'm not putting this on you, but maybe 2 more books after the trilogy is the one where it really starts happening, and then people fall in love with your whole catalog.
Ooh.
Yeah, I think I think you're going to be. It's very rare that someone publishes a book as an unknown. We know it happened with 50 Shades, and it's going to take off. So
Right.
I've done these two, and I'm at present writing Bringing On Back the Good Times. But I'd already got 2 other books, and I've just sent the first one of the next trilogy off to the publisher. They thought they were getting book 3, but they've got book 1 of the next slot. Now,
okay.
if Chasing Rainbows doesn't do it, the next one might do because it's a prison story, and
Oh,
everybody likes prisons.
Except for the
Yeah,
people
I was
in
about
them,
to say,
being them. Except for the
those
people in there.
Yeah, that's what I was
I mean,
like. There's some people who
everybody,
beg to differ.
everybody likes prison stories.
Shawshank.
There you go.
Yeah.
100%.
And this is a love story about a teacher and an inmate that fall in love, and there's a massive age gap. And
Wait. Hold on. I'm sorry. I want to stop you right there. Can you repeat that? Just so I can get the premise of the story.
right. So it's a teacher that works in a prison, and she and an inmate who is much younger fall in love. And the way they communicate is through letters. So the first book, which is called The Prisoner's Girlfriend Between the Bars, which was written after, you see, you've got to have a gimmick to sell these books, was written after a song by Elliott Smith. Do you know Elliott Smith?
I do not.
Yeah, I'm not familiar.
We're young.
Right, Between the Bars. He was a drug addict and he died. But he wrote some good songs, and he came from a swamp somewhere in America.
Okay.
So it's
The
the
swamp?
Prisoner's Girlfriend Between the Bars. So a bit of the first verse of the song is in the book, and it's all the letters from the prisoner to the woman,
Okay.
and it tells of his over the year, and it tells of his life. It tells the story. It tells of child abuse, of prison life, of all sorts, and then it ends where they get married in prison. And then the second book is called The Prisoner's Wife, still between the bars, because he's got another 4 years to do. And then it's the story again of his letters. They're not her return letters, they're just his letters to her once she's become the wife.
Oh.
And it ends where he comes out of prison in the third book, which isn't titled, We'll Be Telling People What Happened When He Came Out.
You know what? And I'm hearing that. Number one, it sounds like a great idea. Now, I don't mean to cut you off, but to me, that right there sounds like, I mean, after it's written, obviously, a fire Netflix series.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
And they could go for seasons and seasons and seasons, even explaining one book. You know what I mean? Like 2 seasons can cover one book. That's what it sounds like to me.
But shall I tell you? But the thing that makes this great is it's true. The letters are real.
That's even better.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm thinking, you should look into because Netflix is giving out a lot of deals to people who write books.
It's context though.
It's who you got, it's who you know.
Contacts. And it's not published yet because I've just sent it off. But these letters were obviously they're edited and they've been made a bit more storyish. But these are real letters from a man who
that sounds fire.
And he signed them over to me. I haven't got them all because they're in books now, so we got rid of them because they were like that. If you think about 4 or 5 letters, books full of letters, of 4 years of everyday letters, that's a lot of letters.
A lot.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, that's gonna be fire.
It's the last one. It's the one when it comes out that. So for me, and I've always thought, and you're right, I've thought, well, these two, I'm learning the skill, I'm crafting. But maybe the prison ones are going to be the one that kicks off because by the time they're coming out, I've already got a bit of a following and people know of me. You've met me now. I've met you. 3 lovely lads. You know, you're lovely. And it's lovely talking to you.
Thank you.
Yeah, likewise.
So you're right. It doesn't need to be the first one. If you've got a whole band of books, it makes you bona fide. Everybody can write one book. And the thing that I keep saying to people as well is like everybody's got a book in them. Everybody can write a book, but how many people can write a good book?
That's the key.
That's the key.
That's the
That's
key.
the key. And I'm watching, and I'm on a lot of Facebook groups for writers and things, and I don't really get involved, but I watch, and I'll keep putting my little video clip up of the book and everything.
Right.
And it saddens me really, because there's this myth about that you can make millions. It doesn't work like that.
No.
Yeah.
If you think true artists, and most artists, and you'll know, even singer-songwriters that are fantastic can be very poor.
Oh yeah, that's a normal thing.
Yeah, it's very poor, and then it's got to be luck. It's got to be luck. I mean, I'm pushing for the moment for my book to get onto bookshelves, because that's another area where people come in and take them off. My dream would be to go to the airport and see it on the shelves in the airport.
Right.
Just walk past and go, "What? That's mine." But what you must never forget is to always have humility.
Yes.
Always be grateful and thankful.
Yeah, stay humble.
100%.
You have to
100%.
work hard, like you said. You know, it took you ages to get the 100 plays. You didn't sit drinking cups of tea waiting for it to happen. You've got to go out there and work really hard to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I need to do it all before I die. That's why I need a producer at least by 2023, or a script writer or someone.
Just gotta stay persistent.
I'm about to say, you put it in the air.
Yeah.
You gotta put it.
Just put it in the air.
You know,
because
because
get into existence.
Well,
and just
I do cosmic
push.
hobby. My ultimate, I need to tell you this because you like this one. My ultimate book that I really want to write, and then I probably stop if I don't get anywhere at all, is a murder called, it's a crime thriller called It Wasn't Me, Michael. And it's about a woman. Well, it's twists and turns, and it's a bit Barbara Taylor Bradfordish, because it's going to be a long one. So it goes into the history of the family and everything. And it's about a woman that goes around killing counselors, therapists.
Oh, serial killer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but she's got a twin sister, and while she's going to go and kill them, the twin sister's getting there before her, but she didn't know she had a twin sister. It's
See, that would make it good, because
So
I'm
many
getting
stories.
tired. I'm getting tired of people remaking old movies.
That's what I'm saying. There's always room for new content.
It is. It's definitely needed, because everybody is just redoing what's already been done, and it's like,
I watched the movie yesterday with my fiance for the first time I heard of it. It had to come out, I want to say 2012-ish. It had John C. Reilly in it, from Step Brothers.
Yep.
And I can't remember her name. Tilda something.
Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, she was the
Swinton.
Chronicles of Narnia. She was the evil princess or evil whatever.
A real handsome woman.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
And it was pretty much about her and John C. Reilly were married, and they had a child. Child name was Kevin.
Okay.
The movie was called We Need to Talk About Kevin. And she had a child, and something about her son, they didn't have a connection. So as he was growing up from a kid to a teenager, it just seemed like he hated his mom. I mean, it was kind of scary to see a person that she was raising looking at her the way he was looking at her, like with evil intent. Like his dad had got him a bow and arrow as a gift, like a bow and arrow set, and I guess it had like a little suction cup at the end, so it sticks to it. And he had a little play dart set, and you do it outside or whatever. So they're out there practicing, and the mom is in there. She's doing the dishes or whatever, and he's talking to his dad as he's doing it. His dad's telling him to aim, and then he just turns and aims at the window, and boop, right at the window where his mom is at. She just gets scared, startled, and he's just staring at her like. And then he'll go and look at his dad and be smiling like, "Thanks, Dad," like nothing ever happened. I don't want to tell you the ending of the story because it's definitely crazy, but it's definitely something to check out. we need to talk about Kevin. That John was
Where
creepy.
did he go?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking.
Yo, I appreciate you telling me
Yeah.
about
No,
it,
I'm
but I
just
have
saying,
no
it was
idea where it came.
Well,
I'm
Kevin,
just talking about the
thanks for
story
that.
itself. Yeah, the story itself, like with
I'm
the
probably gonna watch
complication.
it.
Yeah, it was just something different. Like, you know how they be remaking stuff over and
Oh,
over. You
okay,
see the
that's okay.
same
I get it
stuff
now.
over
I
and
get
over
it.
again. That's an
There you
old
go.
movie that I've seen. I've never seen the concept of that in
Right.
itself. Period.
Well,
So
Dan, I ask you a question. You ever think about writing?
I got you.
You ever think about writing scripts? I mean, you say you're a storyteller
Ooh.
because we talked to a few authors and they say it's harder writing a script than it is writing a book. But since you're a storyteller, you ever think about writing scripts and sending them off to people? Because that gets picked up a lot too, you know.
Yeah, from what I learned on Entourage.
Yeah, I mean,
Seriously.
when I've written a couple of plays and things. I think it's hard to write the script because you have to write down what they do.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's what I was
Whereas
gonna
all
ask.
that.
when you're writing a book, you're just writing the story because it's there what they do. It's sort of you're painting a pic. To me, writing a book is painting a picture for someone else to see.
Yeah.
See,
But
okay.
when you're writing a script, you're just putting the tools together because someone else will see. Whoever reads a script will see the story different. Well, I'm saying that it's a bit contradictory because we all have. If it's better to right, haven't you ever read a book and then watched the film and thought, "Oh no, he didn't look like that."
Yeah, they
Yeah.
left that
Or I
out.
didn't
That
imagine.
don't-
Yeah.
Interpretation of the person doing that film. It's
Right.
in. It's in when I write my stories because I use real people who don't really know I'm using them. I've got this picture in my mind, but when you're reading it, you might have a completely different picture.
Right.
But with a script, it's about the enter here, and he coughs and he touches his nose, and you don't write that in a book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sit having a cup of coffee. You're not going to put, well, he's sat picking his nose. But if you want him to be doing it on stage, then you've got to write that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
The writing's a little more meticulous.
Yeah.
Have I explained myself all right? Because it's like, yeah. So I would think what I've done already with Chasing Rainbows, I've already taken all the dialogue out and it's all there. But then you have to put it into scenes and you have to put who's walking where and sitting down. That's for another day.
Yeah.
But I just thought, get all the dialogue out and get it filed. So it's there. What I could do with is someone to come on board with me and for us to collaborate. The problem for me is that I'm a control freak.
Okay.
Oh.
So it's my way or the highway. So but it would be a big learning curve to do it with somebody.
What about somebody you respect?
Sorry?
What about someone you respect? Like getting, like somebody you really respect their
If I really
ability.
respected them and they knew more than me, then I'd learn from them.
That's it.
You know, I didn't realize I was a control freak till I was getting married, and then someone said, "You're just organizing everybody." I'm going to Rome in March with my friends. We're all off to Rome for like a wild weekend.
A wild?
Well, of course, a wild weekend when you've got 4 women.
That's
right.
Really?
Okay.
Yeah. You're gonna have a good time.
In Rome. Well, when in Rome.
Whoa.
When in Rome.
Well, when in Rome.
Sometimes you gotta look at yourself and just say when in Rome.
Yeah, well, we were going to go before COVID, and then it all got cancelled. But we're going on the 17th of March to Rome, which is going to be really great.
That
for a
should bring
couple
some
of days.
inspiration.
And that will be written. The Rome trip will be written into the 3rd book.
See what I'm saying? Real inspiration.
Yeah.
Real inspiration.
Use what you know. Use what you know.
Yeah. So are you set on when you're writing books, are you set on writing trilogies? Do you keep them at trilogies, or is there possibilities for you to go 4, 5, and 6, or you got any one and dones?
Yeah.
I think this Chasing Rainbows was by default a trilogy because I finished in the airport and then the reader went, well, you'll have to write another one now because we want to know what happens in America. I had no intentions of writing a trilogy. And then when I wrote Oceans Away, I actually wrote an ending. And then in real life, after 30 years, I found Adam. His name isn't
Okay.
Adam. And I thought, I better write another book now because Adam and Olivia are talking again. So there's another book now that's ongoing, but I will end up making it up at the end, because we don't know where this will end.
Okay.
Right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So, back to your question. The prison ones will be a trilogy. That it wasn't me, Michael, is one book. And then I've got another story that's there. So again, going back to like, do I just sit and write? No, I'll get an idea, write it down, and I might add to it. So I might be 5 years adding to it, and I might eventually get a book together. It's hard work doing it that way, mind, because you have to put it all together. But there's one about a couple that inherit a house that was in the 1920s style, and they keep it on. He's a forensic is a forensic something pathologist or something, and she is something quite big, and she keeps having dreams, and this geisha keeps coming to her in this dream, and eventually they find a door in a panel, and they go in the back into this room, and they find a skeleton, and it's this geisha, and their early relative that owned this house in the 20s brought this woman across from Japan. That's all I'm saying about that as well. Because
that's
a
good horror
fire story.
That's a good horror story.
It's full of it, but I don't have the time because in between that I have to take my dog out and feed my husband.
Gotcha.
you know what you should
get with my mates. But it's all there. I just hope I don't die before get them all done.
We're gonna wish you long life.
Fire stories, because all of that is stuff I would definitely watch on Netflix. That's why I think the game is kind of changed, and they're looking for content, especially like that. Just make sure nobody takes your content.
Brainstorm
I need a
off
name
an instance like that.
Yeah, put a name.
Name for that one.
Copyright it, and that's your idea, because somebody will take this and be
But you boys, you must find a name for me.
The geisha in the closet. No. Two on the nose. All right.
No, I mean, you must find a name that I can on Netflix. I need a name. I need a link into Netflix.
The story.
Listen, I don't know titles for my books and stories.
Because we're looking in the future, just because we're doing authors now, but I'm trying to get. We're doing film producers. So we get names like that. We'll definitely send me away, because I'm pretty sure they're looking for the next
a group page.
It's just hitting
we'll talk about
at the right moment, and I do believe everything happens at the right time.
Right, absolutely. Absolutely.
You never know. Somebody be listening to this episode in their car, like, you know what? Where's this woman at?
Yeah, they can't snatch that geisha one though. I'm
saying
we might want to get in contact with her.
Get in contact with you. Like, that's why I said make sure you give us all your information, because somebody be like, oh, she has a lot of good ideas. I can use this. Did you hear this episode? Check this out.
Right.
Yeah. Because the other thing I've realized in my quest to find the name or whatever you go into, they want money.
Oh yeah,
of course.
So you can't even get onto a register for these stars or anything, because you have to pay to join. I don't have money. I'm an English pensioner.
Right.
I don't have the money. I've only got my pension, and I don't even live in my own house. I live in a rented house. And everything's going up. So I'm not going to pay somebody to give me Milo Ventimilaggio's phone number. He should be asking for mine.
Yeah, you got the goods.
Listen,
that's how you tell them.
That's how you approach life. If you approach life with that energy, then it comes to you.
They'll come to you.
Yeah.
The right person will come to you. Because I also feel like the way that things are going now, like there's a lot of indie films that, you know what I mean, that are pretty good, especially if they make it into some festivals and stuff like that. Then they become the big production, or they even get remade. So I think there's so many lanes, and the more people you get around, the more people, not that you need advice or anything, but I'm just speaking in generality.
No,
the more people you get around, the more people get to know you, especially with your personality. The more people get to know you, and if somebody can buy into you, I feel like they can buy into your ideas. Like, you know what I mean? And not just money. I mean, just like believe in you. Then the work gets done from there.
Yep.
You know what I mean? In my opinion.
Yeah. No, you're right. And that's why I said I'm the brand, not, the books are just, I'm the brand. And because I'll tell you what, you won't remember this because you're too young. There used to be a woman on American television called Dr. Ruth.
Dr. Ruth? Oh, man. You are right.
A woman in a tweed suit that answered people's sex problems.
No, I remember her. She was the bomb. I do remember her.
And I used to watch and I used to think, have you ever had sex, love? Because who'd have sex with you anyway? It's like,
nah, she was probably fired. She was probably throwing it.
How did
in all honesty?
In her day. I'd be brilliant interviewing people and stuff. Anyway, but so Kevin, are you all right if I send you some of the links to my little silly videos as well?
Yeah, of course.
Not only, you send me everything you want. Everything you want that you want in your episode. We got a page. You can. We don't care that
we do care.
We do.
That's
care.
why.
No, we not like that. But
we don't mind.
We don't mind
yes.
helping. This is our outlet. We're just here as an outlet for everybody because. Just like, you're giving us great content, we're going to give our listeners your great content.
It's a win-win.
One hand wash the other. Yeah. Both wash the face.
You're supposed to look out because you never know where somebody would be 5 or 10 years from now. It's like, oh,
I might be producing, and guess what?
Yeah.
The geisha in the closet. That's my go-to. You just never know where things might end up. And I love it, but please.
I'm going to try and not have any sex in that book. I'm going to try and write a proper book with no sex in, but I can't help myself.
We need that.
Everybody likes sex scenes that.
We need that. It makes, it spices it up a little bit, having sex and boom, somebody falls, right into the closet where the geisha skeleton is.
Oh, yeah. It's going to
my idea is terrible.
Yes.
Yeah, it might not go that way. I think it might get more spooky and then they dig her up at the side of the lake. I haven't decided. I haven't decided at all.
You might don't tell nobody.
All of Chasing Rainbows most of it takes place in Yorkshire.
Okay.
It's good. And there's a fashion show in it, and that fashion show did exist, and I have got the DVD of the fashion show. So, like, 1 or 2 people have read it, and they've gone, well, I was there. I've gone, yeah, you were. Yeah.
You're in the book. But they don't know. So that means you wrote it very well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. In fact, one of my friends who I've not seen for years said, I'm going to buy your book and take it on holiday. And I thought, oh, Jesus. I said, well, I need to tell you that you're actually in it and you'll know it's you. And she said, oh, well, perhaps I shouldn't read it. And I said, well, perhaps you should.
And then tell others.
And she
Get
did.
Self-aware.
She did, because it was like she did something not very nice to me. To Olivia, sorry, she did something not very nice.
Okay. She knows it now.
Got personal.
And it's in the book now. It's immortalized. It's like when you put something in a book, even if it doesn't get read, it's there forever.
It's there forever.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And some of the crap that I've been through in my life, I thought, I can't have just been through all that for nothing.
Right, yeah, somebody needs to hear them stories.
Going into books. Yeah. But I don't know any geishas. And although I could murder some therapists, and I am a therapist myself,
right?
I've not killed any.
Oh, yeah, don't, yeah.
Right, I'll tell you a quick story about when I was a therapist. You're gonna love this. Are you ready? Right. Yes. So I decided that I wasn't going to be a therapist anymore. It was becoming a bit medicalized, and I wasn't making enough money, because in those days it was for people who had a lot of money, and even poor people need therapy. So I would do a sliding scale of how much can you pay me, or what do you think I'm worth, and a woman who was quite well connected in the counselling world rang me and said, would I counsel her husband? They were getting divorced and he'd got a problem. And I thought, well, it's not really what I should be doing, but if you're all right and he's all right. So into my room came this man. And I've always had a thing for a posh voice, and he spoke like that. He was very, and he sat down and he said, I went to see a psychotherapist in Leeds and I've had to report him. And I thought this man could break me. But I decided he was going to be the last person that I would ever counsel again. So we start talking. So the first thing that happened is talking about Plymouth gin. I love gin. And so the first thing that happens with him is after he's talked about how wonderful Plymouth gin is, because, you have to get to know each other and feel comfortable. I rushed off to the supermarket and bought a big bottle of Plymouth gin. Okay. So the next time he came for the therapy, he walks in with a carrier bag. And in his carrier bag, he's got a bottle of tonic, a lemon, and 2 small miniatures of gin, a Plymouth gin and a London gin. And he said, well, I've brought these for you so you can taste them. And out of the corner of my eye, I can see an empty bottle of Plymouth gin on the floor by the plant pot. And I'm like, oh, shit, he's going to see that. So I sort of go across and I kick it round. And so, thank you very much. So then he comes in and he's talking, and his wife, he had a sexual problem. And one of the things that they teach you when you, it's... But I realised his wife had done that. She'd done that in things. Then the story comes out, and when you're learning to be a counsellor, one thing you've got to be aware of is what's going on through your mind while they are talking to you. Okay. And when I had the epiphany, this isn't you, it's her. I'm sat there thinking, one night with me, love, you won't have a problem at all.
You hear this? You hear this?
So it comes again. Oh, and we got to the point where I said, well, we're not really going to know until you go with another woman. We can talk forever, but you're going to have to be with another woman or whatever. So it comes back after Christmas and he's telling me about a Christmas party that he's been to. And he was kissing the neighbour's wife.
Oh, what's going on?
Well,
yeah,
Yorkshire.
This is another film. Netflix. I hope something.
There you go.
For sure.
So he's kissing the neighbour's wife, and I'm sat there thinking, I need to ask him, but how shall I word it? Because he was very posh indeed. He was very hoo-ha. And I thought, how am I going to word this? I can't say, right, well, did you get an hard on? Or whatever you say in America. I thought, how do I put this? Because I'm like the lady therapist. And I went, I need to stop you there because I need to ask you something. And yes, I said, and I'm not sure how to word this, I said, but I really need to know, did you get a stirring in your loins?
All right.
Well, he looked at me and I looked at him. We burst out laughing. I fell off the chair. I couldn't stop laughing. I thought, what idiot said, did you get a stirring in your loins? I could have said, did you get some feelings downstairs or whatever?
Just a boner.
Every time we looked at each other, we just burst out laughing. It was so funny. And on that note, I mean, I did see him a couple of times after that, and I finished counselling. And about 4 months later, he rang me up and said, I need to come back. And I said, well, I'm not doing it. I haven't got supervision. I'm not doing it. And he said, please. And that was nice for me to think that he wanted to come back with another problem. It wasn't sexual, by the way, this time. It was something else. He went on a solo holiday, like people who were on their own go on these holidays. Yeah. And he met this little dumpy fat woman who lived in Cambridge, and she came to live with him up in Bradford.
Damn.
I don't know what I'm telling you.
You throwing some spice out there,
right?
For the big girls.
Did you get it? So that should tell you a bit like what my books are like. Did you get a stirring in your loins?
Definitely should have said, did you get a boner? It's okay if you did.
Actually, he did. He did. No, he did. He said, I did a little bit, but I thought you shouldn't have been kissing your neighbour's wife.
Oh, yeah, he was tripping.
Yeah,
that was naughty.
That's how a fight break out.
Yeah, that's how death breaks out.
Yeah.
All right. So, wrapping up, did you want to, if you had anything else to say to our audience, what would you say?
Oh, about anything.
About anything.
Anything you want our audience to
know. Anything.
From you to them.
Right. From me to them. Well, besides buy me book, please,
Of course.
and make me a star, because I'll keep you laughing for the rest of your lives. um, I've got a few. Right. Treat everybody as you wish to be treated. If you give a
Fair.
smile, you'll get a smile. And I've forgotten the last one. Oh, bugger, wait a minute. And you never know what's going on in people's lives. So be kind.
That's good.
Absolutely.
That's
Good words.
Yeah.
And the last
said it better
thing,
myself.
when life is getting you down and life isn't going your way, the best thing to say is, fuck it.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
My motto. My
Loved
motto.
it.
Drop 2 in the fucking bucket. All right.
Yeah. Thank you, boys. It's been a great pleasure speaking to you. I've just had a fabulous time.
We had a great time.
It was a great
We appreciate you for joining us.
Thank you.
Hey, anything else to add, guys?
No,
Yeah.
that was
Well,
that was a very
That was
very
fun.
funny.
That was fun.
episode.
Nice
That
and
was-
loose.
I've got to say, listen, from Cornwall, England, feel the love.
Feel
Feel the love.
Feel the
You want
love.
to give out anywhere they can find you on your social media, where they can find your books, where they can purchase, how they can get in contact with you? Go ahead and throw that out there for everybody.
I'll send it all. I think, Kevin, I've got your email, haven't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could tell everybody
Well,
here, so when they
I do
listen,
it like
they can
this.
look for it.
I do it like
Oh,
this.
no.
We'll
here.
share it as well.
Right. You can get the book on Goodreads. I have a page on Facebook, DM Jones Author, where I put all sorts of things up. I did try Instagram, but I got confused. I did try Twitter, and that's a load of rubbish. So
Yeah.
I just do Facebook for now. And you can get in touch with me. I would love to talk to people. You can ask me any questions. You can buy the book at Barnes and Noble. You can't go. You've got to buy it online. So the first one, Chasing Rainbows, is with Barnes and Nobles in America. The second one is with Gardeners in America.
Okay.
They're the distributors for the book. They are different. I am different. They are one-offs like me. If you don't want to buy it for you, buy it for a friend. They make lovely presents. And I think we are, it's coming back in his reading.
Yeah.
Yes.
And because, the other thing I forgot to mention, I'm sorry, boys.
That's
I forgot to mention in the back of the books. Oh, hang on. There, can you see it?
Somewhat.
There we go.
In the books, there is a playlist because there's a lot of music mentioned in the books.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
Right. So I thought if I put a playlist,
the book has a soundtrack.
That's dope.
well, I wish. Because I'll tell you what I'd do, because that was one of my dreams, to get a CD out of the soundtrack and then give all the money from the CD to Cornwall Air Ambulance, because we're very rural and we're this little peninsula off England, so we're very governed by the sea and what goes on. And if it wasn't for the air ambulance, a lot of people would die. There's a lot of people you might know, right? So we've got Rhythm of the Night by DeBarge.
Hey,
Yeah.
We've got Marvin Gaye, I Want You.
Okay.
We've got, I'm just looking for the American ones. Who's Making Love to Your Old Lady while you were out making love? That's Johnny Taylor, as you
Kev's
probably
favorite
know.
song.
The Music of Goodbye by Al Jarreau. Here We Go Loving Again by Dillard and Johnson.
Oh, that might be an obscure
I'm a lot
one.
older than you, so don't worry about that. We've got Stay With Me Till Dawn, Judy Took. It'll Never Be Over For Me by Timmy Euro. Just the Two of Us by Grover Washington. And Elusive Butterfly by Bob Lind. The second book, so they're all sort of 80s songs. I bet the second book they didn't put the playlist in. Oh, yeah, they did. Here, there's another playlist. So you can go on YouTube and listen to these. These are more, we've got Closure by Gabrielle. She's American, isn't she, Gabrielle?
Gabrielle? From
Yeah.
80s? Yeah, I'm about to say, get your Google machine.
Oh, and my favorite, Benny Troy. I Want to Give You Tomorrow.
Oh yeah,
He-
you talking some smokers right now, like
and
some
Home is
some
Where the Heart
fire.
Is with Bobby Womack.
Oh,
classic.
Oh, and she's my Facebook friend. Is Just Loving You by Ruby Andrews.
Mm, okay. Yeah, you
Yeah,
talking like that's
no?
love. That's some
soundtrack
love
for the
songs.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the best one. This is one of the sexiest songs out. A Taste of Honey by the Four Tops and the Supremes. So this is the gimmick in these books as a playlist. So yes, I forgot about the CDs. I want somebody to make the CDs for me, and that money from the CDs would go to the charity. I don't want that money.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah,
With the
I'm
fire
sorry I've
songs.
carried on. We should have finished. I'm sorry.
No,
No, it's
not at
all
all.
good.
Not at all.
It's great content.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with all that said, yeah, we were your host.
I'm Cool Kev.
You always look at me.
I know,
Yeah,
why?
that's so
Why?
weird.
And Kevin, and look, why you look at him, Kevin Durant? That's me.
Yeah.
And I'm Andre, and we would like to thank our guests.
Dani Jones, and I'm
There we
missing
go.
you already.
Oh,
There we go. Nice.
we'll see you again soon for sure.
Absolutely.
Oh, bless you. I'll talk about anything. I'll talk about anything.
We need the geishas. All right. And we will see you guys next time.
All right, as
Thank
always.
you very much. God
Peace.
bless you all. Thanks, lads.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
one.
No, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you for listening to today's episode of the Opinionated Podcast. If you love today's episode, make sure to subscribe, leave a review, 5 stars. We don't want nothing less. If you're an artist, an inspired actress, a songwriter, an author, or you're doing something that's interesting and you want to be a guest on our show, please email us at opinionatedpodcastddk@gmail.com. That's opinionatedpodcastddk@gmail.com. Thank you. Have a blessed day.